My wife is acting like she's 23 again after starting grad school, and it's making me worry about cheating. Should I be concerned, or am I overreacting? Hey Reddit, my wife's sudden shift in behavior since starting grad school has me on edge, and I need outside perspectives because it's planting seeds of doubt about our marriage that I can't shake. We've been married for 5 years, no kids yet, with steady jobs. She's a marketing coordinator, and I'm an IT specialist. She enrolled in an evening master's program a few months ago, initially thrilled about advancing her career. But now she's dressing younger in crop tops and tight jeans, staying out late, partying with classmates multiple nights a week, and acting distant. Fewer intimate conversations, vague excuses about her schedule, and she's glued to her phone more, smiling at texts she hides. Last week, she came home at 2 a.m. reeking of beer and perfume, claiming it was just a study group that ran long. I glanced at her phone later and saw a flirty text from a guy named Study Buddy Alex, like, "You looked hot tonight," with hearts. When I asked her about it over coffee the next morning, she got defensive. "It's nothing serious. You're being paranoid and controlling." Our mutual friends have noticed the changes. One said she's reliving her college days. My family thinks it might be a midlife crisis from school stress. The suspicion is disrupting everything. I lie awake worrying, eat alone. Are these signs of cheating, or am I overreacting to her new social life? Update 1. Thanks for all the responses coming in. They were a good mix, with most people advising to communicate openly without jumping straight to accusations to avoid making things worse. Suggest couples counseling if the trust issues keep building, but keep monitoring for red flags like more secrecy or inconsistencies in her stories that don't add up. Some users shared their own stories of partners cheating during big life changes like going back to school, recommending ethical ways to check like talking first, or even hiring a private investigator only if suspicions become overwhelming. A few call me insecure or overprotective, saying that grad school stress and the excitement of new friends could explain her behavior without it meaning infidelity, and that I should try to support her instead of doubting every move. Reading through the comments motivated me to try talking things out directly before letting my paranoia take over completely. On Saturday morning, over breakfast, I sat her down and said calmly but firmly, "Your late nights out and those flirty texts from Alex are really worrying me. It feels like there might be something going on with him, and I need you to be honest so we can work through this." She rolled her eyes and pushed her plate away, responding sharply, "He's just a classmate from my program. We study together and sometimes hang out to blow off steam. That's all. Stop snooping through my phone and acting like I'm on trial for cheating when I'm not. Grad school is hard with all the assignments and group projects, and I need this social outlet to stay sane and not burn out." I pressed back, but the messages are clearly flirty, like him saying you looked hot. That doesn't sound like just studying to me. She snapped, "It's harmless banter between friends. You're being controlling and not supporting my new phase in life where I'm finally pursuing something for myself." The argument escalated quickly, with me pointing out how her vagueness about her schedule was fueling my doubts, and her accusing me of jealousy over her making new connections. She ended up storming out to class earlier than planned, slamming the front door behind her. Later that afternoon, I checked our shared location app that we set up years ago for safety. It showed her not at the university like she claimed, but at a downtown bar in the middle of the day. My heart raced, and I called a close friend to vent over the phone while I paced the living room. "This is so suspicious. She's lying about where she is, and the texts are damning." He listened and replied, "That does sound off. Start tracking the patterns quietly, like noting the exact times of her late nights and any more excuses, but don't confront her again without solid proof to back it up." That evening, we had a family video call with my parents and sister. I kept the details light, but hinted at the tension, and my sister said, "Give her some space to enjoy school, but set clear boundaries about what honesty looks like in your marriage." My paranoia only grew from there. I secretly installed a basic tracking app on my own phone to monitor the shared location more closely, hoping it would either ease my mind or confirm my worst fears. The doubt kept me up that night, reflecting on how our once solid trust was crumbling piece by piece with every unexplained absence. Update 2. Your suggestions on setting boundaries and watching for patterns were helpful and gave me a structured plan to follow, but the evidence started piling up in ways that only heightened my suspicions and made the situation feel even more urgent. On Monday evening, I saw another study group text pop up on her phone from Alex when she left it on the kitchen counter. "Last night was so much fun. Can't wait for round 2 this weekend." My heart sank, and I confronted her right there as she walked back in from the other room. "This message looks a lot like cheating. Round 2? Please be straight with me. Is there an affair going on with this guy?" She froze for a moment, her face paling, then admitted reluctantly, "Okay, it's just some harmless flirting to feel alive and exciting again. Grad school makes me feel young and vibrant. but it's nothing physical, I swear. I pushed back. Flirting isn't harmless. It's betraying the trust in our marriage, and these texts go beyond that. She defended herself. You're overreacting to a few messages. Alex is a friend, and this is just how we joke in our group. It's not serious. We fought intensely for over an hour, with me pressing for more details about her study groups, and her turning the argument around to say I was suffocating her with my doubts. She ended up sleeping on the couch that night, and the silence in the house felt heavy and accusatory. Feeling desperate and out of options, I hired a private investigator discreetly through an online service the next day, providing her typical schedule, the details about Alex from the texts, and some recent photos for reference. The PI got back with initial reports within 48 hours, confirming she had been spotted at bars and even motels with him during her supposed study times, complete with timestamps that matched her late arrivals home. I met up with another friend for a beer after work on Wednesday at a local spot to process it all. I showed him the screenshots of the texts and the preliminary PI summary, and he shook his head saying, "This is straight up divorce territory, man. The irony of her using studying as a cover for an affair is brutal, but you need to protect yourself now before it gets messy, eh?" Later that night, I had a quick family call with my parents. My mom urged trying couples therapy one more time before any drastic steps, saying marriages have rough patches, but communication can fix it, while my dad added bluntly, "Trust your gut. If the proof is piling up, don't ignore it for the sake of staying together." Work has suffered from the distraction. I missed a key deadline on a project because I was staring at my computer screen during meetings, but thinking about her lies instead of focusing. The suspicion has peaked, leaving me reflecting on the bitter irony of her grad school revival potentially destroying our entire relationship. And it's pushing me to plan the final confrontation with the full PI evidence in hand to get the truth once and for all. Update 3. The private investigator's full report came back in Update 2, confirming the affair without any doubt. It included clear photos and logs of her meeting Alex intimately at motels multiple times a week, spanning back several months since she started school. I confronted her that Friday evening when she got home from class, laying out the evidence on the kitchen table. "This proves you've been cheating, motels, dates, the works. How long has this been going on and why?" She broke down in tears, sitting down heavily and admitting, "It's been going on for months. School made me feel young and desired again, and Alex filled a void I didn't even know was there in our routine." I responded, "Our marriage is over. This betrayal is too deep to fix." She begged through sobs, "We can work through this with counseling. I made a mistake, but I still love you." But the pain was too raw, and I couldn't see past it. I filed for divorce the following week, and she's in the process of moving out to a friend's place while we sort through the legal details like assets and paperwork. Our mutual friends are split on the whole thing. Some blame me for the snooping and say I should have tried harder to save the marriage without invading her privacy, while others support my decision and have distanced themselves from her. My family has been a solid support system, helping with logistics like recommending lawyers and even coming over for a weekend to assist with packing boxes and offering emotional advice. I've started solo therapy sessions to process the betrayal and rebuild my sense of self. It's a bad ending all around. Our marriage is completely over. My trust in relationships is shattered. And I'm starting fresh alone amid the lingering hurt of her actions, just focusing on one day at a time to move forward.